Hello everyone, and welcome back to another book review. I know it's been a little while since the last one, but today we're here to review On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Now, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous was a mostly beautiful read. It was a novel on interrelations, love, hate, meaning, being an immigrant, and the animals we truly become as people. With that being a very prominent symbol throughout the entire novel. How we're both animal, monster, human, and beautiful all at once. As well as the sentiment that beauty is largely temporary, which is part of what makes it beautiful in the first place. It's told from the point of view of Little Dog, our main character, who's a boy writing a letter to his mother who's illiterate. Now, it was mostly enjoyable, as I said. And while I did enjoy a majority of the novel, I can't ignore the weaknesses. I'd be very sad if I did. Such as the largest weakness, which was the smut portion that took over the entirety of Chapter 8, about halfway through. And the use of drugs, violence, and sex in tandem with each other as a stand-in for plot. It's like when you're watching a show or a movie, like when I saw Oppenheimer in theaters, and they throw in a random sex scene, or they overindulge in all of those themes to a point where it's just pandering. The corny 50 Cent references were also just quite cringy to me. Now, some may say that art isn't made to make you feel comfortable, but I would say it was just more confused than uncomfortable. They just felt like selling out. Those whole sections just felt like a sellout. Oh, look, this book will be on the Today Show if I put in this reference. Even more strangely than that, like I said, this is a letter from a boy to his illiterate mother, which means that he would probably be reading this out to his mother. And I'm not going to read something to my mother about sex, violence, and drugs, especially the sex part. Very in-depth as well. It's another case of shock being substituted for meaning, which it doesn't inherently mean meaning, it just means shock. Though on the complete other end of things, there were a few standout chapters to me, chapters that I felt like could have been the whole book, if not for Chapter 8 and a few others. And those would be 11, 5, and 13. 11 chose to use a very interesting stream of consciousness style of storytelling, write it as it comes, which I thought was very personal. Chapter 5 very well demonstrated the tolls that the war had taken on Little Dog's Rose, who's Little Dog's mother. Mental health from her PTSD from the war. And Chapter 13, which told the story in the way of a map with memories attached to each road that they had been to and each road that Little Dog had been to. And these chapters did really demonstrate that the whole novel could have been gorgeous, but i.e., the novel was briefly gorgeous. Overall, I can't say I recommend this novel. It was very close to being something that I would recommend, but it lost its momentum in Chapter 8, which was just porny, to say the least. And while I did enjoy a lot of the novel and annotated almost the whole thing, it's just moments like that that bring it down for me. Which is why I'm going to give this novel overall a 2.5 out of 5, which is lower than I was originally thinking. When I started this book, I was thinking, this might be a 5 out of 5 right here, and then drop. Before we go here, though, I'd like to highlight some other portions that I found interesting. This will have some spoilers included in it, so be aware. I really enjoyed the butterfly metaphors that were used throughout the entire novel. The bullet metaphor was really interesting. Another section on words being unable to bring people back or save them. And the comparison of humans and monkeys was also quite interesting. Now, back to the one on words not being able to bring people back. I found that one really interesting given that they had Little Dog study English in college and graduate with an English degree, and then that's all he has. That is, when he's growing up in the novel, that's his biggest strength, is that he has English that he can use for his whole family, but then he can't even bring them back with it. And it's a very introspective sort of monologue there, and I really enjoyed that. the butterflies were also very interesting because it's talking about the frailty of butterflies, how some of them don't make it back from the migration, some of them do, and that being related to how immigrants or people from war-stricken countries could be in a situation where maybe they come to the U.S. or maybe they go to a different country and they don't even get to be there for that long, but they did it for their family. They did that beautiful thing to save the people in their family, and that's a really great metaphor. Now, I'll just thank you for listening to this. Maybe I'll get back to posting more book reviews. I do love writing them, and I do love reading, even if it does include the occasional smut skip chapter or 2 or 3. You can read the book if you want. Like I said, wouldn't recommend it. Had fun writing the review. I did annotate it a lot. Thank you. Goodbye.